Hello and welcome to This Week in Bitcoin, brought to you by Relay Private. And this week we had some interesting news. Yes, the Bitcoin price dropped a bit. There's an explanation or multiple explanations for that. There is a suspicion that Tedar has bought 8,888 Bitcoin. And we have some internal news at Relay because we won some awards for our latest launch. Kicking things off with the probably elephant in the room at this point, the Bitcoin price did drop a bit, and there are multiple reasons for this. Reason number one, very simple. Not everyone is a born hodler, and there are people who are selling portions of their Bitcoin. And we also saw at this time, a lot of people would either, sell at the top, sell at certain numbers, and therefore drive the price increase down a bit. But at the end of the day, these things are inevitable because you'll always see this in every bull market. People who get in either at this bull market or the last one, and they see these massive returns that Bitcoin produces, are going to cash out. And there have been as well some short liquidation waves where people were basically betting and betting and betting that the price would go down even more. It would go down, but not that much. And this triggered a liquidation wave on their end. At one point, 300 million were liquidated in 12 hours, just like that. And if you have that, obviously, this also adds to this price decrease. As I've mentioned, we do see these things in every bull market, but what's very fascinating is if you actually compare all of the bull markets with their all-time highs, after most all-time highs, and I'm talking about the major ones, not like local tops, you have seen a decline in price. Again, people are selling their corn to therefore profit. And if you compare every all-time high with a decrease afterwards, this decrease actually started with the first all-time high going down 45% afterwards. And now we're between 10 and 15%, depending on when you watch this video and what price it will be. And if you actually compare all of these drawdowns after every all-time high, you'll realize, hey, this volatility is there. There's no doubt about it. But at the end of the day, you'll see that it decreases as well. It goes down from 45% to now, let's call it 15% at this point. And if this continues, we're in for less corrections in the future. Nevertheless, you now have the possibility to stack some cheap sats. Then the second news are more of a speculative nature, but at the end of the day, we will see in the future if these news actually become true. There has been a wallet that has been associated in the past with Tedar, the biggest stablecoin issuer in the world. They famously said last year that they're going to put in 15% of their revenue into Bitcoin to do the MicroStrategy playbook, instead of reserving everything with T-bills and other shady FET mechanisms, because at the end of the day, you are actually supporting the central bank in America if you buy their T-bills and if you buy these bonds to get the yield on the money you put in. They realized that's not really a play, and we also want to, diversify our portfolio. So they started stacking sats, and if the latest round is now confirmed by Tedar, they would have bought 8,888 Bitcoin for a total of 75,000 Bitcoin, and with it, they could potentially become one of the larger holders of Bitcoin as well, probably edging closer to that 100,000 Bitcoin mark. We'll need to wait for next week and potentially the following week to see if this information is valid. From the looks of it, it is very much, because you do see this wallet interacting with Tedar in the past, also with Bitcoin purchases. But because they also have to conduct everything according to the regulation and rules, you have to file countless forms, you have to report off these purchases. So this sometimes delays a bit how much they bought or how much they didn't buy. But if they did, they're doing a very well job, and again, copying the MicroStrategy playbook to perfection. And then the last news internally, as I said in the intro, we have launched Lightning in March, and we did so by going on to Product Hunt, one of the most viewed websites in the internet. It's the place to be if you actually launch a product. And this has paid off because we've won Product of the Day, of the Week, and of the Month in the categories FinTech and Web3. And I know Web3, but bear in mind, there is no Bitcoin-only category yet. We're working hard at it. And on the other hand, we didn't really want to be thrown into the mix with crypto. So this was the second option you had if you choose these categories. Nevertheless, we're on track to become Product of the Year in both categories. And we'll soon announce when the time is right, that you can actually vote for us again in a final vote, because it would be cool. A Bitcoin product on one of the most viewed websites on the internet has won Product of the Year for FinTech or Web3. I think this will show every other crypto project that Bitcoin is the #1 digital asset and that there is no second best. And with it, we've come to the end of This Week in Bitcoin. You know the drill. If you got questions, feedback, or just want to say hi, let us know in the comments below. And I look forward to seeing you next week again.